The RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader for contract and temp to hire positions for IT professionals in the Midwest. Contact RobertsTechJobs.com for all the information on what they have available and let Bill know the ISL sent you. Tonight's broadcast also being brought to you by Hanover Fist Racing. Terry Adams, thank you for all the work that you put in throughout the week with the practice sessions and coaching sessions that you put up. And David Llewellyn and the DHL Express, thank you for all the same things that we just thanked Terry for. And Robert Lacavara and Convergent Composites. And let's us not forget Motorsports Graphic Design and Tyler Graff. Just contact Tyler for all your in-sim graphical needs, and he'll get you some smart-looking paint schemes. Tony Trapasso being joined tonight in the booth by Mr. Mark the Boss Vega. Mark, how the heck are you?
Doing good, Tony. How you doing?
Better now that I turned my mic on. So, first trip ever to the Kansas Motor Speedway as we're following Kevin Paskowitz in the 7, Robert Lacavara in the 5, Gary Bauer in the 27 currently on screen right now. You've had a chance to drive this setup, if I'm not mistaken, have you not?
Yes, sir.
Walk us through it. What can we expect tonight?
It's gonna be a lot of single file running. The top side is very hard to pass. Very. I mean, the setup it grips real good. You can actually go from top to bottom and not even lose it. It's just the outside to pass is gonna be very hard.
So basically a typical mile-and-a-half setup just about anywhere in any series.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. So a ton of the regular names going around right now. Let's bring the standings up. And of course my standings isn't working right. Bear with me, folks. Let's see if we can't fix this real quick here. And there we go. Chris the Punisher Parkman showing quick time so far with a 25.266. Gary Front Row Bauer 25.269. David Llewellyn 25.281. Basically throw a blanket over the top four. The young gunner Jake Gordon 25.311. Mixing it up with the older guard. Good to see Jake joining the league, one of the up-and-comers in motorsports. As we're following along now with Tyler Graff, one of our other young gunners. Tyler coming to us from the karting world. And he's currently mixing it up with, that looks like Isaiah Dupree and Kevin Paskowitz. Kevin took Sunday off because he was actually at that big fiasco in Florida, whatever they call that damn thing. But the real racing was at Talladega International Speedway in the DW12s, as we all know. A little bit of contact there with Dupree and Graff. Graff goes for a nice one into the wall. Just remember, folks, if you're ever confused with different terminology in racing, loose is when the back end wants to hit the wall first. Tight is when the front end wants to hit the wall first. Horsepower is how fast you hit the wall, and torque is how far you take the wall with you when you hit it. So that's how the jokes string out tonight. Yes, I'm the southbound end of a northbound horse, and I'm proud of it.
User joined your channel.
So we're now following, I believe that is the league owner in the white and blue 30. It seems very weird not to see Alex Big Chief Green in a anything but an orange car, but he's definitely repping, what do you say, 3rd Battalion and the Milsim that he officiates?
Yeah. It's for the Army, ain't it? Their battalions. I can't remember the number.
I apologize if to all of military friends and family and all the veterans out there. I never served. I'm virtually military illiterate. I've had family who served proudly, you know, and I respect what all our men and women in the armed forces do and do currently and have done in the past to allow us the freedom to be able to do what we do. So hats off to all our military vets and
Don't mind me, Tony, if you hear me snoring. I just got home from work and I'm tired.
well, don't mind me if you hear me making other kinds of noises, because for some unknown reason I just got hit with wicked heartburn and I'm out of Zantac. So if the stream goes to quiet for an extended period of time, chances are my head's in the toilet. Unbelievable. The current gap between Chris Parkman and Gary Bauer for top time in practice. Now, mind you, there's just over 3 minutes left in the hot lap session. 3 1,000ths of a second. No, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, yes, 3 1,000ths of a second. And then 12 1,000ths of a second back from that is David Llewellyn. From Chris Parkman to 5th place David Wright, 64 1,000ths of a second. I'm virtually speechless on this, Mark.
What happened, Tony? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that if you go from Chris Parkman down to 5th place David Wright on the time chart currently, 64 1,000ths of a second.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Hopefully it's green flags.
And the competition committee meeting earlier today, and have already said that they're going to start cracking down rather harshly on some things that they've been threatening to do. They've been letting race control and you and I kind of be the nice guys, but they said that we can't be the nice guys anymore. So the entire competition committee has already stated that if there's any in-race chatter that doesn't have to do with where the pace car is before the field catches the pace car. Okay, for starters, what you just saw on screen with the 10 and the 18, if that happens under a yellow flag, the 10 would be receiving a one-lap black flag penalty for running over another car. Also, if you see where our friend Hanover Fist, Mr. Terry Adams, is up in the high side there, if there was a car to his inside, such as the 10 there, and that would be charged to the 10 for not giving way so that Terry could get into his pit stall, that's another black flag for an one lap black flag penalty. Who is the knucklehead driving the 10 tonight?
Gene Mintz.
May want to have a discussion with Mr. Mintz and let him know that all eyes were just on him to demonstrate what not to do on the track tonight. So if we ask that as you're entering the pits, you stay as far to the right as you can to let cars come in and out of their pit stalls. If there's an incident and you're on the inside, you're to blame, and you will be receiving a one-lap black flag penalty. If under caution one driver runs over another driver under caution, again they will be receiving a one-lap black flag penalty. Which I'd like to point out at this particular track, just a stop and go, you're going a lap down. So to be able to have to sit there for one full lap, you're going at least two down. And hopefully that'll be a deterrent to try to stop some of the, shall we say, rectal cranial insertion syndrome driving that we've been seeing, Mark?
Yes. Hopefully they got the message with the notes that was handed out today.
I hope so. I honestly do, because I know you don't like being the bad guy, and I don't like being the bad guy, so hopefully the drivers don't give us a reason to be the bad guy at this point.
Yeah.
But we have seen over the past few races that there are some drivers that have to unzip their fly to see where they're walking. And if you don't get that joke, go ahead and just start your hate mail now, because I don't care anymore. Qualifying getting ready to get underway here. 5 minutes on the clock. And we've got drivers on the track. So let's see who we've got here. Alex Green was quick time for a quick second there. Jay McClendon down into the low 25s. This should be a pretty quick Q session, to say the least. Forrest Sparks jumping up second quick. Good to see Forrest up there. Kevin Paskowicz in the top 5. Good to see KP up there. Let's see.
I give it to Forrest. He's one of the more silent drivers in here, and has a lot of improvement from the past. He's up there a lot, but he's the quiet one. That's the dangerous one. He'll take the win from you, definitely.
The only problem I've seen Forrest have, and Forrest, there's about 4 drivers that run with this league that I want to find out what deity they angered. And Forrest is one of them, because he'll have a good run going, and then he'll get caught up in somebody else's mess as a victim of circumstance. Just flat out. that whole digital dock team, they've come so far, and they're within, they got it in within grasp every week, and then somebody else, pardon my language, folks, but somebody else will step on their dick and take Forrest with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 16 tonight as for a win. So if we're gonna be picking drivers, I think he's got a good chance tonight.
Well, if what we saw in practice is any indication, that's going to be a pretty safe choice. Personally, I'm going to have to go with. It's hard to fight against Chris the Punisher Parkman. I mean, the guy just stole the just stole the pole from Gary Front Row Bauer. So, I mean, it's really hard to to bet against the usual suspects, as we've started calling them.
The
Backup.
thing I like about Sparks is he rides around and patiently waits towards the end. That's what I like.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Never count out Forrest Sparks. Never count out Forrest Sparks. Never count out Cody Eldred. Um, Johnny Antonucci's another one. If you take a look, I believe all three of those guys are top 10 tonight. Oh, Forrest just got bounced out of the top 10. But he's starting within reach. So, going to be hard to bet against those three guys as well. And Cody had a breakthrough Friday night in our little fun, I believe it's the B car, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the Xfinities.
Xfinities. Cody had a breakthrough, got his first league win, if you will, in the B car on Friday night. So, that being said, starting on the front row, we've got Chris the Punisher Parkman, joined outside with Gary Bauer. Inside row number 2, Ray Zerkett, joined with Mike Whitaker on the outside. It's the row of the Davids in row 3, David Wright and David Llewellyn, starting 5th and 6th, respectively. Jay Anderson, John Antonucci, 7th and 8th. Inside row number 5 is Isaiah Dupree, starting outside in the number 10 spot, defending series champion Cody Eldred. Forrest Sparks starts in the 11 hole, and he's joined with rookie Gene Mintz. Second generation driver Jake Gordon going to start inside row number 7, joined with Bob Lacavara. Tyler Graff and Kevin Paskowich start in row number 8. Row number 9 is going to be Alex Green and Jay McClendon. Row 10, Joe Morganti and John Napier. Row 11 is going to be Mr. Uncle Salty himself, Terry Adams, being joined with Sam Cooper Bennett. Chris Hamilton and Mark Holmes are going to make up row number 12. And looks like Bill Roberts and Greg Napier are going to make up row 13. So 26 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight. .140 laps, the scheduled distance here at the lovely Kansas International Speedway. Field forming up on pit road. A lot of color tonight. Love to see the field like this. Field rolling off 2 by 2. You see the Punisher Chris Parkman with that wild anime on the side of his car. I gotta ask you, remind me to ask him what that's all about, Mark, later on, please.
10-4.
And basically, it's your usual suspects up towards the front tonight. Parkman, Bauer, Whitaker, Zerkett, Llewellyn, Wright. You know, guys that have raced with this league for quite a while now. Pace car is in, and the field is in Parkman's hands as he pulls the trigger. Let's see if we can get a clean lap in. A lot of guys flirting with that apron. Clean and green as we go into turn number 1. Parkman jumps out to a 4-car length lead over Gary Bauer, and they're 2 wide behind him.
Just like I expected. Most of them are single file.
And that's pretty much the way you got to approach this early segment of this race. 140 laps is a pretty good amount of laps to turn around this mile and a half. Gary Bauer making an early bid for the front spot. Using the apron to do it. And Parkman saying, go ahead, my friend. I'll draft off you and take that fuel mileage. Bauer, Parkman, Zerkett, Wright. Sorry, Whitaker, Wright, Llewellyn, Anderson, Antonucci, Dupree, and Eldred rounding out your top 10. I hate tracks like this, Mark. I got to be honest with you, where half the guys decide to run down on the apron next to the grass, and half the guys decide to stay up on the actual, quote, racing surface. It's when the merge happens that it's a pucker moment. Well, let's see if we see any pucker moments happen here. So far, so good.
In the stream that's watching, if a car is below the apron and the car above him does not have to let him up. That's where the pucker moment comes in, because they don't. It's not a rule where they have to let you back up the racing surface.
Right, and that's why that's why I hate tracks like this. Well, you had to let. No, I didn't. Show me in the rule book where it says I have to let you. Show me why you were down there, and then show me where it says I have to let you back up.
Parkman's on the outside by himself. He's going to be very hard to pass Gary Bauer by himself. If he had someone on him, he'd pass him.
Well, he's got David Wright out there kind of close enough, but he's not close enough to actually give him a shove. Oh! Right, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Let's see what exactly happened there. Here we are coming out of turn 4 into the trioval section. Bauer didn't go down that time.
Yep, 20 anticipated him going down and took him out. He didn't go down.
So for 7 straight laps, Gary Bauer went down, started to go down, didn't go down. Not even sure what just happened. That's going to hand the race lead over to David Wright. Ray Zerkett taking it down pit road. Let's see who went with him. Zerkett going pit road. Tyler Graff, Alex Green, Forrest Sparks, Kevin Paskowitz, Joe Morganti, Mark Holmes, Chris Hamilton, Greg Napier, Sam Bennett, Bill Roberts, Gene Mintz taking it down pit road. Parkman actually having to tow it. So that's going to put a damper on his night. Gary Bauer able to get it back to pit road.
I believe if you tow here, you're going to go a lap down if you're towing. It's like,
Well,
what, 4 minutes worth of tow? Something like that here?
from the front straightaway, probably. Parkman's already 2 minutes into, trying to get towed. So he's pretty much got to hope for a caution-filled race from here on out.
And we were just talking about that transition right there.
Like I said, that's where it gets dangerous when, a guy does it at lap after lap after lap, and then he decides, oh, well, I'm not going to this lap. Who's at fault? That's the question.
Well, being as race control, I would, the one on the bottom, if he came up a little bit, trying to get back up, it would be his fault because, it's hard to call.
Well, the question is, whose fault is it when he did usually go down, and then this time he just said, I'm not going down this time. Has either driver claimed it? Let's put it that way. And lights are out on the pace car. David Wright, Mike Whitaker are going to bring him back to green flag action here. Wright, Whitaker, Llewellyn, Jay Anderson, Isaiah Dupree, Johnny Antonucci, Jake Gordon up in the mix now, Cody Eldred, Jay McClendon, Bob Lacavara rounding out your top 10. So pace car getting ready to duck on off. David Wright in control of the field. He squeezes the trigger right as the green flag comes out. Gets a great jump. Brings David Llewellyn with him. And one of the hardest spots on the track to start is that outside front row, unless you've got triple monitors or an Oculus. And unfortunately, Mike Whitaker got caught sleeping. Here's the fight for second between Whitaker and Llewellyn. Wright, Llewellyn, Whitaker, Anderson, Dupree.
Oh, wreck.
And apparently cars are wrecking, and we stay green. Okay. And David Wright leads yet another lap in that Triad Computers 42. And behind him, it's the Battle of the Booze Wagons. And Jay Anderson makes a power move, bringing Isaiah Dupree with him. Anderson, Dupree, Jake Gordon in the Dr. Pepper car making a big move for third right now. But up front, it is the battle of the beer wagons. Dupree trying to high side. Just amazes me how just the how much these guys are willing to flirt with disaster at this track. And David Wright makes it 3 wide. Isaiah Dupree just barely. Oh my God.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
David Wright goes and makes it 3 wide. Had a hole, almost had a hole, kind of did have a hole. As they go into turn 3, that hole closed up. There was a little bit of a door bang there with David Wright and or David Llewellyn, I'm sorry. And it was that the 59? That's Antonucci in the 59, I believe.
From my view, I'm looking at rear chase, and it was that neck in that dreaded box.
That's exactly what it was. There was, as you could see right there, and we're gonna pause it for a moment. It was just they touched in the banking, and that net code took over right away. You know, they were both trying to stay as low as possible to stay off of Isaiah Dupree, who was fighting to keep the car off the wall and did a marvelous job doing so, I might add. But, you know, in the meantime, that doesn't help David Llewellyn at all. Terry Adams getting caught up in that one. Chris Parkman finally back out on track. And there's 2 distinct pit strategies that are starting up here. Jake Gordon, the only one not to pit yet. Perhaps the young gunner might know something that the rest of us don't. He may have figured something out in the practice last night that, oh, no, there he goes. He wanted to lead a lap to get that 1 championship point. That's what was going on. And that's going to hand the lead over to Alex Pace Car Green. You know, Alex, growing up, his mom said he could become anything, so he said, I'm going to become a pace car. Just kidding, Alex. So, Alex Green, Tyler Graff, Forrest Sparks, Mark Holmes, Gene Mintz, Sam Cooper Bennett, Jay Anderson, David Wright, Johnny Antonucci, and Mike Whitaker rounding out your top 10. As we are under caution for the second time, 20 laps into this 140-lap event. Tony Trapasso and Mark the Boss Vega up in the booth with you tonight. Thank you for joining us for Season 2 of the Dallara 2011 or IR05, depending on which vernacular you prefer to use. And we are being brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader for contract and temp to hire positions in the Midwest for IT professionals. Just go to robertstechjobs.com for what they have available. Let Bill know that the ISL sent you. Lights are out on the pace cars. They form up 2 by 2. And the brothers in arms, Alex Green and Forrest Sparks, are both on the inside, nose to tail. And Mark, why am I hearing crashing?
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
Oh, let's see who Jay Anderson just got run over by. Oh, boy. Looks like Jay Anderson is having another hardware issue. Which we've seen him have a couple times already this season, once while leading.
You got a copy, Tony?
Yes, sir. I hope I do. I think I do.
Oh, no, everything just went blank on me on voice thing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If they run into somebody in the rear, they get a 1 lap penalty, correct?
Correct, in which Jay Anderson did not hit anybody else. He just turned down into the grass as his wheels shit the bed.
Yeah, Gary Bauer just plowed Joe Morganti earlier. I wanted to make sure that was the rule.
If you run over somebody under caution, it is a 1 lap black flag penalty to be given when the green comes out.
10-4.
And you may want to inform him of that in race. I'm sorry if you folks hear some funny noises and crunching. My roommate decided to bring home some fresh cauliflower earlier, and I love fresh vegetables, so that's what I'm kind of snacking on tonight. Pace car pulls in. Alex Green leading them back to the green. Alex pulling the track, and we have synchronized spinning going down into the grass as we stay green as the green comes out. Green, Graff, Sparks, Holmes, Cooper Bennett, Eldred, Wright, Whitaker, Paskowicz, and Isaiah Dupree rounding out your top 10. Graff not afraid to use that apron. Alex Green getting yet another lap led. Perhaps the white and blue paint scheme. What on earth? That's the weirdest glitch I've ever seen. Did you see the same thing I just saw?
Yeah.
Alex Green's nose is now gone. And why is Alex Green's nose wing gone? Because iRacing. Thanks, Nim. And what kind of bizarro land are we living in where Sam Cooper Bennett now leads a lap? Cooper Bennett on the inside, Forrest Sparks on the outside, and at the line it is Cooper Bennett. 0.012 at the line. Sparks with a nose ahead.
Shuffling here, dude. A little too anxious right now. It's too
They're
early.
getting way too chippy. Cooper
Oh,
Bennett's
and it
all
caused
over
a
the
wreck.
track. And I would like to dedicate this next call to John Napier's wife. Sam Cooper Bennett goes on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Let's see that again. It goes up to, just touches the apron, starts to slide up the track. Cody Eldred just barely missing the wall. Looked like Alex Green got his nose wing back miraculously and just barely missing the wall. Not sure who. Kevin Paskowitz getting caught up in that one.
Sam Cooper hit the wall and just lost it.
Jake Gordon getting caught up in that one. Tough break for the youngster. KP trying to limp it back to the pits. KP doing everything he can to limp it back to the pits from what it looks like. And he was able to get it back there. And that's going to hand the lead of the race over to defending series champion Cody Eldred. That was a wild exchange up there at the front. They were getting rather chippy. Looks like Eldred was able to keep it off the wall when he was trying to avoid Cooper Bennett. So that was a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment if you really want to get technical about it. Cody Eldred, David Wright, Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavara, Jay Anderson, Greg Napier, John Napier, the father and son, running 6th and 7th, with the son leading the father. Chris Hamilton, Jay Anderson, Isaiah Dupree moving into the top 10. Further back in the field, we've got Tyler Graff. Forrest Sparks able to recover, get the car fixed with a quick repair. He currently sits in 12th. Alex Green's currently sitting in 13th. Johnny Antonucci 14th. Kevin Paskowitz able to maintain on the lead lap in 15th spot. Mark Holmes sits 16th. Series sponsor Bill Roberts currently sitting in 17th. Ray Zerkit 18th. Gene Mintz 19th. Joe Morganti 20th. Chris Parkman 21st. David Llewellyn 22nd. Jake Gordon still towing. Sam Cooper Bennett still towing. Gary Bauer currently sits 25th. Terry Adams getting caught up in that mess, still towing. So lights are out on the pace car as we get ready to go back to green flag action. Looks like Cody Eldred and David Wright going to bring him back to the green.
Tony, I don't know. I can't hear you, but if you're talking.
Oh, just don't tell me that I got to do this again. Okay, no problem. We will.
A few drivers complaining about again black flags, but they pitted before the pace car. Pace car was behind them when they pitted. Can't clear them black flags.
Unfortunately, no, but well, you could if you wanted to, but it's a little late now. It's a
Well,
pace
I don't want
car.
drivers saying it's favoritism either.
Absolutely. Cody Eldred wasted no time dropping the hammer as we go back to green flag action. David Wright not completely caught asleep at the switch, but like I've said earlier, starting outside row number 1 is one of the more difficult places to start. So Mike Whitaker able to move from third to second as it's Eldred, Whitaker, Wright, McClendon, Lacavara, Napier, Anderson, Napier, Paskowich, and Hamilton rounding out your top 10. Mike Whitaker making a move on the high side. Looks like a lot of people going with him on that one. Eldred taking the short way around. Whitaker giving him plenty of room. And it's Eldred at the line. Whitaker with the nose out front, getting a little bit of a draft push off of David Wright. As they're almost 4 wide. Not the time or place to be doing that, as we're only 35 laps into this event.
Bob Lacavara in 4th place, doing pretty good.
Absolutely. Bob Lacavara running up front. Jay McLennan and Jay Wright. Sorry. Jay McLennan and Jay Anderson running side by side right now. Mike Whitaker trying to get some rubber laid down for a later run on that outside line. Knows that it can work if you've got help. Cody Eldred continuing to show the way. 19 laps into this current fuel stint. Mark, you've had some experience with this setup. How far can they go under green?
They go about 15 laps, give or take a lap.
I'm sorry, how many?
About 15.
1-5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we have some drivers in the top 10 that are already 20 laps in.
You sure they didn't pick? Because,
According to sim racing apps, they have not hit in 20 laps.
I might be wrong.
And Cody Eldred is one of them that has 20 laps on his run right now. As a matter of fact, everybody in the top 12.
3. Ooh.
No, I'm sorry. Everybody in the top 10.
Right.
And the yellow comes out. Let's see what happened with Bob Lacavara here. It's John Napier on his inside. There's the 8 of... you had to ask me the simple question. That's Chris Hamilton. As they go 3 wide into turn 1. Can't be doing that. Let's watch that again. Yeah, Lacavara on the high side. There's Napier on the low side. Coming through 3 and 4. Hamilton goes all the way down onto the apron. Napier kind of has to give him a little bit of room. And Lacavara's got nowhere to go. Just completely eating the safer barrier in turn 1. And then go ahead.
That was actually Hamilton's fault.
Well, Hamilton's the one that went down onto the apron going through the tri-oval. But I got to give credit to Bob Lacavara. He didn't even attempt to drive that car back to hold up the field. Good on you, Bob, for taking the tow and knowing when to do so. So Jay Anderson staying out to get all all-important bonus point. And Kevin Paskowicz staying out with him, so that's going to put KP in second right now. Let's see what we got going on here. They're the only two to stay out from the looks of it. Nope, I stand mistaken. Anderson staying out, Paskowicz staying out, Ray Zerkett staying out, Bill Roberts staying out. Cody Eldred and everybody behind him taking full advantage of this caution.
Yes, and the ELL was given to the 8.
Understandable. It's getting a little... I understand wanting to go, but 40 laps into a 140 lap race, probably not the best time to do so. So it looks like Bill Roberts went down pit road under that lap there. I would like to point out that series sponsor Bill Roberts, owner of RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in contract and temp to hire IT positions for IT professionals in the Midwest, taking full advantage of the fuel mileage that these cars get, and he is the last car on the lead lap. So that last set of cautions, Tyler Graff going a lap down, Alex Green going a lap down, Isaiah Dupree going a lap down, Chris Parkman getting a lucky dog somewhere in there, went from 3 laps down, now 2 laps down. Forrest Sparks 2 laps down. Sam Cooper Bennett 2 laps down. Jake Gordon having a tow, now 2 laps down. David Llewellyn 2 laps down. Bob Lacavara 2 laps down. Gary Bauer 2 laps down. Our very own Hanover Fist, Uncle Salty, if you will, Terry Adams, 5 laps down. I'm sorry, I stand mistaken. Gary Bauer's 3 laps down. But Jay Anderson showing the way right now. Lights go out on the pace car. Kevin Paskowicz sits outside row number 1. Ray Zerkett, Cody Eldred going to make up row number 2. David Wright and Mike Whitaker going to make up row number 3. Jay McClendon and Greg Napier going to make up row number 4. And row 5 is going to be John Napier and Mark Holmes. And there is a monster gap there. Not sure who's in the wrong lane or why, but that outside lane should be Kevin Paskowicz, Cody Eldred, David Wright, Greg Napier, and Mark Holmes. So whoever's not where they should be needs to get where they need to be, or else they're going to be sitting for 1 full lap. So now we have the field nicely bunched up. And Jay Anderson wasted no time dropping the hammer. 22 laps on this fuel run. Maybe Jay knows something the rest of us don't know, as we've just finished caution number, I believe, 4. Anderson, Circuit, Eldred, Paskowicz, Wright, Whitaker, McClendon, and both the Napiers and Mark Holmes rounding out your top 10. As they're getting a little bit chippy behind Anderson and Zerkett. They were 3 wide for a little bit there. Side by side, Paskowicz and Wright, and Mike Whitaker making it another country heard from. as he's down to the inside. Paskowitz flirting with that second line, giving Wright a little bit of a toe as they came down the back straightaway. And this is where it gets interesting. Anderson, Circuit, Eldred, Paskowitz, Wright, Whitaker, McClendon, Greg Napier, John Napier, Mark Holmes, your top 10. Throw a blanket over the top 7.
I've been watching some of these cars when they go down in that transition there. That's how two cars spun into the grass, because you see the cars getting twitchy. And tin tops, you won't get twitchy. In these cars, it seems to be really loose down there.
Well, you got to remember, in the tin tops, you got a lot more ground clearance too. You know, you got a full underbody under these cars that they use to generate most of their downforce, and it is what it is, and you can throw a tin top down there, no problem. Now, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about when we say tin tops, we're talking basically anything by the National Association of Stock Car Racing. The Cup cars, the B cars, the trucks. You can even get away with it with a modified. But with these cars, you've got so much carbon fiber underneath those cars and you have to run them low. So that transition is so much more violent in an Indy car or in just about any formula or any open wheel car that uses an under tray to generate downforce. If you think it's bad in these, Mark, have you tried it with the prototypes?
No, I haven't.
Scary.
Oh, right.
And we are back under caution. Looks like Mark Holmes getting caught up in something. Bill Roberts might have been caught up in that. As soon as I can get to my mouse, I will show you, folks, what happened.
Yeah, Mark Holmes came down into the 21 of Bill Roberts.
So let's ride along with Mr. Roberts here. And we're already catching it at the tail end of it. So Johnny Antonucci got a heck of a run coming down the back straightaway. Pinched Mark Holmes up high. Roberts going with him. There's Parkman in the mix. And as they come into the tri-oval, Mark apparently wasn't sure where Bill was going. Isaiah Dupree getting caught up in that one. Mark going for a wild ride in that one. Let me see who else may have been caught up in that. Let's watch that one more time. Kevin Paskowitz getting caught up in that one. David Llewellyn just barely missing it. Good grief. As far as Parkman goes, if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all tonight. Good grief. That's the third time he's been hit by somebody else's mess. It basically just looked like Isaiah Dupree is able to limp his car back around. Not going to help for his bid to get a lucky dog, though.
Now, unfortunately, car 41 is going to be getting a penalty, a 30-second penalty.
Car
Hey
40,
guys, I thought I'd join.
41?
Guys, I thought I'd join you up here.
Yeah, car 41. The 530 was on the apron. He was damaged, and 41 was trying to push him, and that's not allowed. He checked up the whole field, causing
Fair
issues
enough.
back there too.
He also, his front wing looks like Hogan's ghost in the replay that I'm looking at right now. And for that matter, so does his side pod. All right, so Jake Gordon having his first oops with the league. We're being joined in the booth now by Sam Cooper Bennett. Sam, geez, what a rough ride you had earlier tonight.
Yeah, I just, yeah. I have no words for that. You have no idea how petrified I was leading those few laps.
Yes, but it was good to see, and we did give you props when props were due. So,
Yeah, I just held the bottom line on that restart, and I saw a few gaps, so I just thought I might as well just take them and
fair enough.
somehow find myself in the lead. So,
Now, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is our 5th caution or 6th?
I believe it's a 5th.
Okay, so not a good sign. We are currently turning lap. It'll be 57 when they cross the stripe. And we're under our 5th caution. Okay, math majors, what's that work out to?
I'll get back to you.
Roughly every 10 laps, we're seeing a caution flag.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, I'm going to be joining you up here for the duration of the race. I've parked my car now, so.
Fair enough. Mark, if you want help on race control end of things, feel free to give Sam a admin.
10-4.
But in the interim, you can help me on the broadcast, Sam. Feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Dave,
Bear with me, Sam. I have to give a black flag, and then I'll give you controls.
Okay.
So David Wright, Jay McClendon on the front row, Chris Hamilton, Ray Zirkett, row 2, Kevin Paskowitz, Jay Anderson, row 3, Cody Eldred and Greg Napier, row 4, and row 5, John Napier and Mike Whitaker. As pace car getting ready to duck on off as they come through the 3-4 complex. David Wright going to show the way, holding them back, and green flag comes out. And David drops the hammer.
That was a much better restart this time around.
That sounded healthy.
But we're under caution again, just as I say that.
And I didn't even see the caution.
Let's see why Isaiah Dupree is pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. It would be because the 53 decided to check up. And it looks like David Llewellyn had to check up hardcore. Let's go with David Llewellyn on that one and see what the heck just happened. There we are, 30 seconds back from what we just saw. I see Llewellyn and Parkman right there. Parkman starts to go. There's a checkup around Johnny Antonucci and John Napier. Bill Roberts gets plowed from behind.
Oh dear. Just one retirement to report other than myself. Terry Adams has retired from the race now.
And so is Mark Holmes.
Yeah.
You're still listed as here.
Yeah.
Oh, and Gene Mintz.
Yeah.
And the checkups were for the 27.
The checkups?
He gassed it. Yeah, he gassed it and was bumping the 59.
Okay. Well, let's see what's going on here. Like I said, it was somewhere around Johnny Antonucci and John Napier. So there's Gary. Yeah, I can see where he did that, and that checked up Alex behind him. Yep, Gary checked up Alex and just everybody behind them. So yeah, I can see that. This just goes back to what we've been preaching all season long: is you know, go on the guy in front of you.
Yeah. Well, we got
I didn't
Forrest
even see the
making his
caution.
way to
What
pit
caused the
road.
caution, Sam?
You just said it.
Um,
It was Isaiah Dupree spinning to try to avoid everybody checking up in front of him.
yeah, that's who it was. It was Isaiah again.
It was an accordion effect, starting with Gary. And then Isaiah did the better, discretion being the better part of valor, just spun the car rather than clobber the car that was in front of him.
Yeah. I didn't catch the wreck myself because for some reason iRacing is doing that thing where the car disappears for a certain amount of time.
Well,
So I
you
couldn't
guys
see
can
it.
watch it on the stream if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had Forrest Sparks and Gary Bauer make their way to pit road in this caution, so maybe
Well,
taking a gamble.
I'm
Or,
thinking Forrest has to clean out his shorts after just barely missing that one.
yeah. Gary just having such a difficult race so far.
So as far as fuel strategies go, uh, David Wright and Jay McClendon are on a completely different level from everybody else. They are crossing for lap 22 of this current fuel stint. Now, being as we are averaging a caution every 10 laps, I can see where they could stretch it that far. Lights
Yeah,
are
I can see. Yeah.
lights are out on the pace car, but mark my words, if this race goes any sort of green flag, I'm thinking they're going to have to pit within about 5 laps or so.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. I mean, the fuel mileage in these cars around this track is about 25 laps, so they've done almost about that already. So they're gonna have to be making the call very soon.
Well, they have had quite a few cautions to be able to help them out as they come down the back straightaway right at 65 miles an hour. Jay McClendon looks like he might be getting the death wiggle as the pace car is getting ready to duck on off.
Caution flag's been thrown again there, Tony.
Fair enough. Mark DeBoss Vega, being the boss that he is, not liking how the field was lined up, so
No, I noticed in the middle of the pad, John Napier wasn't tightening things up. Neither were many of the people at the back of the field. So yeah,
I can
it's one
kind
of
of
those things.
understand those guys being gun shy that far back. I really
Yeah.
can, so I'm not
Well,
gonna.
they could. But
No, just saying, I can understand those guys that far back being a little gun shy, especially after all the bullshit that we've gone through all night.
Mark, if you want to throw me admin rights, I can help you.
Bear with me. I'm doing too many things right now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said if you throw me admin, I could help you with that.
And pace car ducking on off. David Wright getting ready to bring him back to green. And Wright squeezes the trigger, brings Zerkett with him. McClendon getting caught sleeping at the switch.
Right, with a huge dump on the field.
Wright, Zerkett, McClendon, Anderson, Paskowitz, Napier, Whitaker, Eldred, Antonucci, and Napier. Your top 10. As we stay green with one lap green anyways, so that's a plus in itself. Cars are starting to stretch out a little bit. There's your battle for second with Jay McClendon and Ray Zerkett, as they've now have caught David Wright getting a little bit of a pull down the back straightaway.
Noticing some cars making some really dangerous moves on that apron on the tri-oval.
These guys are just way too chippy this early in the race.
Yeah, extremely.
We're not even to halfway yet. We're already 6 cautions in.
Oh, Alex Green nearly getting caught out by going on the apron there.
Welcome to the iPacing IR05 series at Kansas Motor Speedway. Wright, Zerkett, Anderson, McClendon, Napier, Paskowitz, Whitaker, Eldred, Antonucci, and Morganti, your top 10. Good grief for these guys getting chippy up in front.
Yeah, I've noticed John Napier has dropped right back after nearly hitting the wall about a lap ago.
John Napier is taking a smart move, putting some distance between himself and these guys.
Yeah, that's understandable because it's getting, like you said, it's getting very tricky in that midfield with all the people going on the apron and everything.
Oh! Jay McClendon trying to take the turn 1 wall with him. And we are back under caution as we're 2 laps from halfway. Let's see what happened here. Coming into the tri-oval, McClendon on the high side, given plenty of room.
Oh, that was transmission tunnel. His car lifted up off the ground and just speared into the wall.
That was pure net code.
Yeah.
I mean, the car just, like you said, Sam, the front end lifted up and then all of a sudden just right into the wall. Thank goodness this is only a simulation, because I dare say that would have killed a man in real life.
Oh, definitely.
So we are back under caution. Ray Zerkett showing the way.
So we've got quite a few takers on pit road. Oh, Alex Green with a very late entrance into pit road there. Well,
everybody in front of him went. Zerkett and Paskowitz, the only two that are staying out. Zerkett, I believe, is just trying to lead a lap. John Napier staying out as well. Again, trying to lead a lap.
That was just weird how his car, it looked like there was a speed bump right there. He just launched it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was just scary.
And Alex Green needs to have a talking to after this race. Lap 71 almost got clobbered by Johnny Antonucci coming out of his pit stall because Alex wasn't in the rightmost lanes. So something that we are going to need to bring up.
Yeah. One thing I want to bring up with you though, Mark, a lot of people are not sticking to that furthest right-hand lane when they're going into pit road.
Well, here's the thing, Sam. If an accident
Yeah.
happens, whoever's on the left is going to sit a lap.
Yeah, Sam, if you could keep an eye on that, because I'm too busy trying to figure out everything else.
Yep. I can watch the pit lane.
And if you notice anybody get run over from behind, whoever hit them gets to sit for a lap. So it looks like Bob Lacavaro is hoping for a wave around. Not gonna get it, Bob. As we are just past halfway of 140 laps here at the Kansas Motor Speedway. And no idea what just happened there. Let's go to the replay. John Napier behind the lap car of Chris Parkman. Not sure what the big gap was.
iRacing's messing up. They're telling them pass and not pass, and
Fair enough. So lights are back out on the pace car, or out on the pace car, I should say. Ray Zerkit, Kevin Paskowitz going to bring him back to green. John Napier, David Wright make up row number 2. Greg Napier, Mike Whitaker, row 3. Cody Eldridge, Joe Morganti are going to be row 4. Alex Green and Chris Hamilton going to be row number 5. Good to see Alex in the top 10.
see, Sam, you see how Bob Lacavara, he's like 1.5 to almost 2 cars?
Yeah.
That's how they need to be. That's the
Okay.
most. If it's more, they get black flag for 1 lap.
And Ray Zerkit just dropping the hammer. Napier and Paskowitz side by side through turn number 1. Napier on the inside, gonna get the advantage.
I'm sorry, Sam, I just noticed. Don't bring it up. When you tell them to tighten up, do not. They've been warned too many times. It's just a black flag.
Okay.
Yep, don't even warn them, just hit them. Ray Zerkit, John Napier, Kevin Paskowitz, David Wright, Mike Whitaker, Greg Napier, Cody Eldridge, Joe Morganti, Alex Green, and Chris Hamilton, your top 10.
Going 3 wide.
And they are just way too chippy this early. Good grief. It's like trying to come across the George Washington Bridge at rush hour.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I got someone knocking on my door. Sam, you got it real quick?
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Zerkit continuing to show the way. And Paskowitz and Whitaker get involved. Oh, my Lanta. Not sure why that happened. Yellow comes out. Let's take a look at what's going on. By the way, Sam, if anybody opens their mic other than to claim the caution until the field is formed up, you mute their mic.
And so far, that would be Alex Green and John Lee.
Mute
Alex
them.
Green.
Mute them. If
What happened?
unless they're calling out the pace car, mute them.
We've had Alex, Joe, and John all cue up their mic before they've even got to the pace car.
Well,
I don't know if you want to deal with that, Mark.
let's see what happened here with KP down onto the apron. Here's the replay as they come into turn number 1. KP gets his nose chopped right off by John Napier. Takes out Greg, takes out Cody, takes out Mike, and everybody else behind him doing a hell of a job trying to avoid that mess. But let's go to... Get to the chopper. No, get to the cockpit. So here we are riding along inside KP's car. That's exactly what happened. John Napier went to go throw the block, and KP just reacted, not realizing Whitaker was that close.
So who are we going to put that down to, Mark?
That's on you guys.
I was going to say that was caused by John Napier, like cutting off the nose of Mike.
No, he cut off KP's.
Oh, KP.
He was still somewhat in that line.
Yeah.
Well, KP was lined up to go to the inside. If you follow along with the cockpit view, KP was looking to go low down the back straightaway. John cut his nose off coming out of 2, and KP it was either hit John or swerved to avoid him, and he swerved to avoid him, and Mike Whitaker was there. So we are back under caution. Our 8th caution as we're getting ready to cross for lap 80. I think I can joke about this because I'm not actually down there on the track having to drive through this. But right now I don't know whether to laugh or cry that we're on our 8th caution on lap 80.
I'll throw the BOL out.
So Ray Zirkett continuing to show the way. David Wright sits 2nd. John Napier currently scored his 3rd.
Sam.
Yeah?
I was giving the 7.
Oh, shit, sorry. Sorry.
Do I even want to know what just took place?
Clear him.
Clear who?
The 7 was supposed to get the penalty for not checking up and going high and taking out he's the one that actually caused the wreck. And
Okay.
he gave it to John Napier.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Even if you clear it, John's still got to go to the tail of the field.
Do I still give it to...
Clear the penalty for John first.
I already did.
Okay. As the lights are out on the pace car. Not sure exactly what's going to happen to the lineup here. I would like to point out that Ray and John both have 26 laps on this current fuel stint. Ray Zirkett, David Wright, John Napier, Alex Green, Joe Morganti, Chris Hamilton, Jay Anderson, Tyler Graff, David Llewellyn, and Johnny Antonucci rounding out your top 10. Good to see Johnny up there. Lights are out on the pace car. The field is getting ready to be put into Ray Zirkett's hands as soon as that pace car clears the commitment cone. pace cars in. And Zirkit waiting for the green to come out. There we go. We are back under green flag. Zirkit showing the way, right going with him. Good grief. Zirkit and Wright over half a second in front of third place Alex Green.
Oh, Llewellyn in the wall, big time.
And another one dies. David Llewellyn. Ooh, what happened there? As we ride along with Llewellyn now, or following him on the camera anyways. We see Llewellyn there in the blue and black car.
No contact, there was another net code.
Let's find out what happened here, and that was netcode, and it looks like Forrest Sparks eating the wall trying to avoid that one.
Net code is biting a lot of people tonight, it seems.
Let's see that again, because that might have been a bounding box issue. So let's take a look at. We're following David here, and that's exactly what it was. That was a bounding box hop.
Yeah.
Because you saw the car. The bounding box just barely touched. I believe that was Jake Gordon to his inside. And, yeah, just caused that whole netcode thing.
You know, I mean, no offense, but I'm so anxious to see dirt. But iRacing needs to fix these issues that they have first before they even start dirt.
Well, yeah, I'm starting to think a lot of these cautions are being caused by netcode, which is a problem.
So far, we've had two.
Yeah, well,
two of 9. And this one, and the thing is, it was the same thing. Yep, David is definitely going to need to tow that. But it was virtually the same thing both times. It was two cars deciding that they wanted to bang wheels, and unfortunately, you're never going to see iRacing update this car. And if they do, I hope I'm wrong, but chances are you're never going to see it happen because this is part of their dead cars now. You know, the only thing that it's used for is the Delara Dash, which, much like the Pickup Cup, you know, iRacing doesn't care about, and they've shown that time and time again. You know, I can go back and send them replays. I've already sent replays. If they want me to send them again, I will. You know, showing the whole transmission tunnel crap that we deal with on the bank track. So, oh yeah, well, yeah, okay. Do I sound jaded? I'm sorry if I do. No, I'm not sorry. The only good thing about tonight, and I'm going to say this wholeheartedly, and Sam, you can back me up on this if you want to. The only good thing about tonight is tonight's race is brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader for contract and temp to hire IT positions for IT professionals. Just contact RobertsTechJobs.com and let Bill know that the ISL sent you, and he'll let you know what they've got available. Other than that, I should have stayed in bed.
Yeah, but that's the main good thing about this race is that it's brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com. So that's a reason to stay out of bed, right?
If it wasn't for RobertsTechJobs.com, Hanover Fist Racing, the DHL Express, Convergent Composites, and Motorsports Graphic Designs, I would still be in bed. All of those proud sponsors of the ISL. And lights are out on the pace car one more time as Ray Zirkett and David Wright are going to bring him around. Zirkett has 32 laps on this current fuel run. Let me say that
because of all
again.
the cautions.
Let me say that again. He has 32 laps on a setup that normally you'd be happy to see 22. He has 32.
22 needs to tighten it up at the back, and
Then black flag him.
they're shotgun on the field, so
Yeah, they had to let Michael Whitaker in.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you gotta love iRacing. What it is the pass, stay behind, and that's what's causing it, these past couple of cautions.
Understandable. So Ray Zirkett getting ready to take control of the field. Pace car ducks in. Field is in Zirkett's hands. And green flag comes out and everybody drops the hammer. Zirkett, Wright, Green, John Napier, Joe Morganti, Jay Anderson, Johnny Antonucci, Tyler Graff, Kevin Paskowitz, and Chris Hamilton rounding out your top 10.
I will say Chris Hamilton is having a very good race today. He's really a very quiet one in these races, but he seems to be having a good one today.
So far, so good, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, he's keeping the usual loud peddlers like Mike Whitaker, Gary Bauer, and Bob Lacavara at bay. So even the Punisher is behind him.
Well, the Punisher's a couple laps down. But in the interim, David Wright trying to make the outside line work. Not so much right now. Alex Green flirting with disaster on that apron. Really not having anywhere to go. As we're crossing for the lap 90 of 140. It's good to see Alex Green having a good run tonight. Caught in the middle, though. 3 wide as they come across the stripe. Who's going to be Who's going to... And there we go.
No.
Wreck.
Saw that one coming. Bob Lacavara getting caught up in that one. Bill Roberts getting caught up in that one. Let's see, who else? David Wright going for a wild ride. Let's see what David saw.
Now it looked like 18 was below the apron, came back up, saw Alex and went back down and came back up again.
Yeah, that's exactly what took place. So
That'd be the 18 that's caused that then.
let me find the 18 first. Let's do a chase with the 18. There you see him. Let's back that up a little bit. Here they are going into, looks like turn 3. Turn 2 of the previous lap. Gets a great toe off of Alex in front of him. And you see David right there on the high side. And Jay moves down onto the apron before Alex can get there. Hugging that grass. Alex can't go any higher. And just gets nerfed as Jay really didn't have anywhere to go and probably should have backed out of it.
So we all agree it was 18, correct?
Oh yeah, we're going to watch that again as they come into the tri-oval. Again, this is the rear chase. Anderson's down almost onto the grass coming through the tri-oval. Llewellyn's coming out of the pits. Anderson just... he didn't have any room to make the corner. There was no way he was making that corner. I believe the phrase is snowball's chance in hell. So yeah, I've definitely have to say that 100% going to be on the 18 there.
Okay, Jay's been given the EOL, but he's dropping back yet.
Well, if he doesn't drop back, then he'll be black flagged by the sim.
At this juncture, though, when Jay drops back, this will hand the lead over to certain Mr.
Don't say it.
Too late. But a lot of surprise names in the top 10 this time around, so we're looking at a good race tonight, despite everything else.
The one that was impressing me was the driver of the 30. Right up until that little fiasco took place, he had a hell of a run going.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's going to leave Mr. Green first car one lap down.
So he should get the lucky dog.
On the next caution.
Yeah. Whenever that will be.
As we are now counting caution number 10 on lap 95.
And saying that, there's only 10 cars left on the lead lap.
This is true.
So we're going 10 for 10.
10 for 10 is fine at the fast food joint, not so much in a race. Kevin Paskowich, Mike Whitaker, Tyler Graff, Ray Zirkett, John Napier, John Antonucci, Joe Morganti, Chris Hamilton, Jay McClendon, and Jay Anderson going to be the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah.
The lights are out on the pace cars. We are 2 by 2. I gotta say that car Paskowich just looks pretty under the lights. Pace car is off. Paskowich has the field, and he rolls into it rather quickly, trying his best not to stack the field up.
User joined your channel.
Paskowich, Whitaker, Zirkett, Graff, Antonucci, Napier, Hamilton, Morganti, Anderson, and McClendon, your top 10.
User left your channel.
They're still going hell for leather at the front.
I don't get it, Sam. I really don't get it. After seeing what's happened and knowing that we're 10 cautions in and not even 100 laps in, it just boggles my mind. It seemed like a bad idea at the time category, but we did it anyways.
Yeah. It's not been the race that most people wanted anyway, me included, unfortunately, but Dom, it's actually turning out to be a pretty decent race. Like Alex Green, up until that last caution, he's been running really well. KP, he's doing really well right now. Chris Hamilton doing really well. Joe Morganti's up there as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, what racing we've had has been great. It's just 1 millisecond, if you lose focus for 1 millisecond at these speeds, I mean, these guys are hauling off into turn number 1 at 222 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's a football field a second.
All right, guys, just a little heads up. I'm just gonna put it on the stream so Tony, you can remember Sam when the committee meeting comes. Lap 95 on the restart. 18
Yep.
jumped the restart, shot to the outside, and passed like 5 or 6 cars.
Well, then you black flag the 18 for jumping the start.
Well, I was watching. It was already late. It's already into the laps, so there's gonna be penalties given out. I can't do it now because I'm still
Nope.
on lap 96.
You can give it out. That race control deemed the 18 to have jumped the start on the last restart. One lap, black flag. Thanks for playing. As the battle intensifies up in the front, Paskowicz and Whitaker side by side as they haul off into 3. Paskowicz has the inside line. Whitaker's gonna need some help pushing behind him. Whitaker's gonna need Bauer to push him in order to get by on the high side. Whoa! What in the blue hell just happened there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened. Paskowicz caught the apron and was trying to save it. And just got annihilated by everybody behind him.
I'm thinking Kevin Paskowicz must have had a technical issue because he
caught the
immediately disconnected after that and then reconnected just now. So.
Well, that's probably what did happen. That's probably why he caught the apron.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just... Good grief. A ton of good cars got up in that one. Whitaker, Zerkit, Green, Eldred, Greg Napier, David Wright, Bill Roberts again, Forrest Sparks again, Chris Parkman again. Oh my God. John Napier getting a piece of that one. Chris Hamilton getting a piece of that one. Johnny Antonucci getting a piece of that one. Good grief.
I've just had to warn the entire field by text that if there's any more flaming, penalties will be issued and it is a final warning.
Mute whoever's mic it is. We're not warning anybody anymore. Mute whoever's mic it is. You tell them they're done. Their chat's muted for the rest of the race, and penalties will be handed out post-race.
User joined your channel.
And that's exactly how you handle it. You mute their mic. You don't warn. We're not warning anymore, Sam.
Okay.
The competition committee met earlier this evening. We're not warning anymore. We're muting mics and we're handing out penalties. Now
they don't have to worry about no flaming because everybody's mic's muted.
Okay.
Tired of it.
That'll get a little bit dangerous when the next caution comes out, but...
Yep, that's what I told him. Guess where the pace car is at now?
Okay. So, basically, everybody from Johnny Antonucci back was caught up in that mess. And I've got to say that Right. If I was KP, I would go down to the office of my ISP on Monday, find the first male supervisor I see, and punch him square in the dick. Because
now Jake Gordon's having technical issues due to a storm by his house. So
Jake warned us of that before the race was starting, that they were having tornado warnings. So, but I mean, it's a tough break for Jake. We'll see him in the next one. We're back here Sunday night. Practice starts at 8 Eastern time. Broadcast is going to start about 8:20. Currently, Tyler Graff showing the way. Jay McClendon sitting outside row number 1. Basically, everybody from Johnny Antonucci back got just clobbered under that last caution. KP is back on the track. Looks like 2 laps down.
And I'm dealing with all this other stuff. I couldn't give the EOL to the 7, even though his game crashed. Oh, he got lucky this one.
Well, it's not really going to make a difference. He went from leading the race to 2 laps down. So it almost doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, the penalty kind of served itself.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to get
And
him
Tyler Graff steps on his dick.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He told me earlier he was going for a win today, and that's just going to really upset him now.
And Jay McClendon, not knowing what to do, hands the lead of the race over to Johnny Antonucci? All right, Johnny.
Yeah, you see that right? That's Joe Morganti going for the lead now.
And Tony, we were saying it all night, that dreaded transition. And it bit him.
Absolutely. This is not the type of car you want to transition with. So Joe Morganti, Greg Napier, and John Antonucci are your top 3.
Wow, what a turner. And we've got Chris Hamilton in 4th place as well.
Chris Hamilton's in 4th. John Napier sits 5th. Tyler Graff rebounded to 5th. I'm sorry, 6th. Alex Green currently sits 7th. However, Tyler Graff remained on the lead lap.
Amazingly. But this has certainly been a pleasant surprise. Oh, Johnny Antonucci getting it all wrong in the corner. He was pinched up a bit by Chris Hamilton.
That's okay. No harm, no foul. We stay green. Morganti showing the way. I'm sorry, Greg Napier's in 10th, so he's running 2nd on the track, but he's actually 2 laps down.
Yeah, it's Chris Hamilton in 2nd, Jay McClendon in 3rd. Johnny dropping down to 4th now after that incident with Chris Hamilton, so...
This race is just turning into, what's the term I'm looking for here?
I'll say shit show.
There has been a lot of clustering and a lot of fornicating.
Yeah, Bill Roberts in the wall just a second ago.
That's a tough break.
Kept it going.
As Joe Morganti continues to show the way. Jay McClendon in 2nd, Chris Hamilton for 3rd, Johnny Antonucci 4th, John Napier 5th, Tyler Graff in 6th, last car on the lead lap.
For some reason, Jay Anderson's dropped to 4 laps down.
Well, the black flag will usually put you 2 laps down. It's 25 seconds around this track.
Oh, Cody Elwood into the wall. Hard into the wall. just staying green again.
So far, so good. And there you see Tyler Graff flashing by. That's how far back Tyler currently is. Full 10 seconds with a 25-second lap time. Greg Napier just getting up out of the way.
David Wright put Cody Eldred in a wall coming off that apron, that dreaded apron again.
I think
honestly
what we need to do for Sunday night is to ban the apron from being used.
I was just about to say the same thing. If
I
catch him on the
was
apron,
thinking it too, and I'm thinking that we need to do the same thing for all tracks like this. You know, so that means Vegas, Chicagoland, Michigan, California, you know, all those tracks. Just with these cars, you cannot flirt with the apron. And right now, you really got a feel for Jay McClendon. He's got 2 lap cars between himself and Joe Morganti. And he's got Chris Hamilton right on his ass.
Yeah, and Chris Hamilton must be absolutely seething in that cockpit right now because he's desperate to get up there just with Jay McClendon, but these 2 guys in front of him just, well, I can't see him or won't let him pass because Joe McCanty's still there in front of those 2.
Well, the 5 and the 7 are actually battling for position.
Yeah.
So you can't fault them. They're both 2 laps down. They're both, you know, battling for that position. So
Jay McClendon slowing down.
They're gonna need fuel.
I think Jay McClendon's out of fuel.
Well, Morganti, Hamilton, Napier, Antonucci. Yeah, McClendon's 35 laps into this fuel stint. He's out of fuel.
Dude just dropped back immediately, so I'm guessing his fuel tank just went bingo, and that was it.
That's exactly what happened because he's down to 35 miles an hour and he's on pit road. The next one that's going to be desperate for a pit stop is going to be Tyler Graff. And guess what just happened? As I'm beating on my oak wood table, we just went more than 10 laps without a caution.
I think you might want to hit that wooden table a bit harder there, Tony. Because, yeah.
So the next one that's going to be desperate for something to happen is going to be the 77 of Tyler Graff, who just clocked 30 laps on this tank of fuel.
Jay McClendon now goes a lap down from that.
2 laps down.
Pit stop. 2 laps down now, okay.
2 laps down.
Wow. That's the difference between making a scheduled pit stop and actually running out of fuel. That's unfortunate for Jay because he's been running strong all race.
And it looks like Bob Lacavara is going to be bringing it pit side.
I wonder how much fuel Joe Morganti has.
He's 20 laps into his stint right now. And that's about all I can tell.
Should be doing about another 5 laps. I did a full fuel run earlier, and I was running out at 25 laps. So
Right, but the question is, how much was he able to save under the last caution?
Because when you're under caution, as you probably already know, when you're trying to save fuel, you run it in 6th. So he will save a ton of fuel out of that.
Right, but how much did he save?
That's true.
I know you can save a ton. How much was he able to?
That's the $150 million question.
And the only one really giving him pressure is the 7 trying to get a lap back.
And Tyler Graff just ran out of fuel as well.
He's just making his exit out of pit road now.
Yep.
Chris Hamilton's
So
got that inside line now. He's pushing his way forward. Oh, and we're under caution again. I'm guessing he didn't hit that table hard enough then.
anybody want to guess who's the cause of the caution?
I'm trying to find it.
Polygraph?
The 77 stepping on his dick coming off pit road.
Oh, just as the pack were coming around as well. Oh, nearly taking out David Llewellyn there. That was scary.
Yeah. So that's the reason for caution number 11 on lap 1, getting ready to cross for 130.
EOL for that, Mo?
What's up, Sam?
EOL for Tyler, yeah?
Yeah, we let them when they go 1 to green.
I can't see that, so I don't know when you're going 1 to green.
Just wait for the lights to go out on the pace car.
That would help, wouldn't it?
So Morganti gets the caution he needed. Chris Hamilton gets the caution he needed. Let's see who else is going to be taking her down pit road. Johnny Antonucci. John Napier staying out. Getting that
Down
one
from
championship
the
point.
So
Getting
when
that.
we go green,
Well,
Yeah.
he may have just stayed out just to get that one championship point. Let's see who's going to be eligible for the waiver round here. Well, a whole ton of cars in front of John.
yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 cars in front of him. But I should think they'll be getting a waiver round with 1 to go, right?
They will be, but guess what? That's going to put Kevin Paskowicz, David Wright, Mike Whitaker,
Parkman.
Parkman's going to be back on the lead lap. Tyler Graff is going to be back on the lead lap.
No,
and
Graff is 2 laps down.
No, Graff is 1 lap down.
It looks like David Llewellyn and Forrest Sparks are taking the pit side. Oh no, they're all taking the pit side. Wow. And John Napier's taking the pit side.
Well, okay. So apparently nobody wants to lead this race. It's going to hand the lead back over to Joe Morganti. KP stays out, though. So that means KP's going to get his lap back. Shane McClendon's going to get his lap back. However, KP's got to pray for a quick caution. This has timing and scoring all messed up.
Yeah.
Now, Alex Green was the first car 1 lap down. So Alex Green is back on the lead lap thanks to the waiver. Or lucky dog.
He did, however, make a pit stop once he took that. Once he took that lucky dog.
We are 10 laps to go, gentlemen. I just want to point that out. We're 10 laps to go. We're almost there.
Do you need a Tylenol?
No, I need a bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
I need to put that bottle to my head and pull the trigger. So I would like to point out that the top 5 are the only ones left on the lead lap. So apparently lights are back out on the pace car now. Yep, lights are out. Waiver rounds are being given. And Joe Morganti in the 53 is going to be your leader here. Morganti, Hamilton, Antonucci, Napier, and Green, your top 5. Only cars left on the lead lap. As the field's forming up 2 by 2, we're going to have a 9-lap shootout, 8-lap shootout? 8-lap shootout.
8 laps, yeah.
So,
Left your channel.
this is the time. I was going to say, this is the time of the night where you put them up on the dash and go, here's mine. What do yours look
User
like?
joined your channel.
Joe
go.
Morganti wasting no time dropping the hammer. Johnny Antonucci goes with him. Morganti, Antonucci, Hamilton, Napier, Green, Sparks, Paskowicz, McClendon, Graff, and Parkman, your top 10. Only your top 5, though, are on the lead lap. As Antonucci and Hamilton go side by side for second place. Morganti is 0.2 of a second up the road.
Hamilton dropping back. I think he has a problem.
He got that last corner all wrong, and meanwhile, Antonucci's reeling in Morganti. We're going to stay with our leaders.
I will tell you though, Tony, this is typical Kansas though, because Kansas has been known to throw up some surprise results, and we're seeing one big surprise here tonight with the way the races turned out.
Okay, so anyways, if you would like to be a presenter on Top Gear, no, I'm kidding. Joe Morganti, Johnny Antonucci continuing to show the way. Over 0.5 second back to third place, Alex Green. Antonucci on the high side. Just an amazing run right now as we are 5 to go. Morganti, Antonucci, Green, John Napier, Hamilton, Sparks, Jay McClendon, Tyler Graff, Kevin Paskowicz, and Chris Parkman, your top 10. And there's Bill Roberts merging on the backstretch. Antonucci almost uses Roberts as a pick. And that lets the rest of the field catch the leaders. Antonucci desperately trying to figure out a way by.
Watch Alex Green is getting the run.
Johnny Antonucci's not. There he goes, down onto the apron. That's the first time I've seen the 59 down there tonight. Tries to snooker the 53. 53 slams the door. Antonucci comes back up in line. He's looking, he's trying, he's thinking. As we're 2 to go.
1 to go at the line.
It's do or die time right now. Antonucci getting a run on the high side. Keeping it wound up a little bit. Antonucci and Morganti. For the top 3, it'll be any one of their first win in this league. Antonucci's got one final shot. They go across the grass, and they're spinning, and Morganti gets it.
Morganti's a first-time winner of the league. Wow, what a finish.
Wow.
And there was a huge wreck at the back as well.
I saw that. Chris Hamilton involved in that one. John Napier involved in that one. Forrest Sparks involved in that one. Jay McClendon. Chris Parkman getting a piece of that.
That was Parkman came up against the car there, and he didn't even touch him and spun.
That must be aerodraft then.
But the news of the night, Joe Morganti gets his first win. Beats Wheels with Kevin Paskowicz.
Oh, Joe,
Good
go in pit road. You got
grief.
Joe's not going to burn him up this time.
Is he in TeamSpeak? Yes, he
Joe
is.
Yeah,
Morganti?
he's
Oh,
in
yeah.
I got
he's in
him.
garage 1.
User was moved to your channel.
Joe Morganti, Tony up in the booth. You got me, bud.
I'm speechless. I'm freaking speechless.
Dude, burn those things down. Don't park it in the pits. Just burn them down, brother. Congratulations on your first win in the league, sir.
Not just in this league, in any league on iRacing in my first 2 years.
Congratulations. You know, I'm glad it was with us. I'm glad I got to call your first victory then, sir.
Thank you so much.
Walk us through
Awesome
those
job,
last
Joe.
couple of laps, Joe. Really. I mean, just walk us through those last couple of laps. What was the cat and mouse game you were playing with Johnny?
I noticed he was trying to go high on me. I drifted up a little bit into just to try and make him go high and make him fall back. Just trying to play that draft game, kind of like with at Daytona.
Fair enough. We saw him try to snooker you that one time coming through the tri-oval there. You know, you started to come up and you noticed he was below you. You know, did you panic at any time?
Oh, of course I panicked. I'm like, no, this is mine. You cannot have this.
You know, Joe, that was awesome finish there, buddy. Congratulations.
I'm crying. I'm freaking crying right now. I shouldn't be doing this.
Oh, it's an awesome feeling.
Now hold it.
Congratulations.
Let me pause you right there, Joe. You just won a hell of a race. You just ran a hell of a race. You survived a hell of a race, and you get to bring home the trophy. And guess what you just did? You just punched your ticket to the chase.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Tears
That's fucking
are
amazing.
appropriate. I remember when I got my first win with the league, I had tears in my eyes too. And you're going to kind of be numb for the next day.
This doesn't even compare to my first NIS win at Richmond last year. This doesn't even compare.
Well, like I said, I'm glad that I got to call it. You know, with Mark and Sam up here in the booth with me. Congratulations on the win. You know, hopefully this is the start to some some better luck with the league. And I would also like to point out that tonight's the first night that you didn't stream an in-car with us.
Yeah, I'm really sad that I didn't, but I did stream this on my Twitch.tv/LugnutsHub. So there is some in-car video of it.
Okay. All right.
You know,
go ahead.
I promise that I will stream it on your guys' on the league's in-car view the next time on this Sunday.
Well, at least put your in-car on the league Facebook page so that we can follow along with you for the finish.
Exactly, I will.
You know, Tony, when I joined one league, it was Joe that actually helped me. I made the chase, and Joe wasn't even a teammate and actually helped me to try and get the win. I finished 4th out of all, what is it, Joe, 43 cars?
Yeah.
And I got goosebumps for you, buddy. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy for you, Joe.
Well, I just want to point out that, of the top 3, actually the top 5, 6, any one of them would have been great because it would have been any one of your first wins in the league. The fact that you were able to hold on and hold off a hard charging Johnny Antonucci, and hold off a hard charging Alex Green, and hold off a hard charging Chris Hamilton, for 140 laps. Awesome job, well done, well deserved victory, and welcome to the chase.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And I gotta say, this is out of all the wrecks that I almost got into tonight, it's kind of nice to see that I didn't get into any one of them. I just got rammed into the back a bunch of times. It's shades
Yeah,
of my Daytona 500 weekend.
yeah. I just wish I was up there with you, but yeah, I'm really happy for you there, Joe.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thanks for joining us, Joe. We'll let you get back up to where do you want to go, main gate or garage?
Just throw me in the main gate, guys.
All right. So you're tonight's winner, Joe Morganti. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you Sunday night, sir.
All right, thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. So let's see who else is in here.
Johnny Antonucci's in main gate, I believe.
Let's see how
User was
Johnny's.
moved to your channel.
Let's see
Oh,
how.
I'm sorry.
Let's see how
I got
Johnny's
Alex
mic
Green.
is working.
User was moved to your channel.
Well,
Alex
we'll
Green.
we'll get to Alex in a second. Johnny
10-4.
Antonucci, Tony up in the booth. You got me.
How you doing, Tony?
Johnny, awesome run tonight. Walk us through the last handful of laps there.
Yeah, I was just trying to hang on, stay out of trouble. I was trying to go high to make them come up a little bit and try to dive under them. And I don't want to, do a bad finish, so I definitely don't want to hit them. So I was just trying to stay outside a little bit, maybe come up and I could dive underneath.
Well, we were seeing that here in the booth, and I mean we were pulling for any one of you guys in the top three. I mean it was going to be your first win. We were pulling just to have a clean green finish, and we got it. You guys put on one hell of a show tonight. A little rough on the starts, first half of the race, but the last half of the race, you guys put on one hell of a show.
Yeah, it was a fun race. And, just glad I finished.
Well, now you know what you need to do when you come back here Sunday night for the DW12 version of this race.
Yeah, I hope I do good there also. Yeah, it's a crapshoot too. You could just be in the wrong place or wrong time.
Now,
And,
Johnny, this is another podium finish for you.
yeah, I think it's my second one. And the last two races or three, I haven't had good finishes really.
Now, do you feel that the momentum's on your side now? That monkey's off your back of
Yeah,
getting into other people's messes?
I hope so. If I could stay out of trouble. Normally, if you wind up in the back, you're gonna catch something else.
10-4.
So I mean, practices sometimes I'm good, and then I can qualify good.
Tony, your mic is open, buddy.
Yeah,
Just stay out
I
of trouble. And like I said, I like racing with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to it every day, even the practices.
yeah, Johnny. Hell of a run. Congratulations on the podium. Looking forward to seeing what you can put together for Sunday night. We'll let you get back to the drivers' meeting up top, and we'll see you Sunday.
Okay, thank you guys. Good win for Joe.
All right,
Was moved out of
Johnny
your channel.
Antonucci, everybody. Alex Green joining us in the booth now. Alex,
Yes, sir.
good grief, man! These are starting to become a habit for you. Podium finishes and whatnot.
I mean, that's my second in 4 weeks, so I'm happy about that. That was a roller coaster of a race, I'll tell you that much.
It definitely was, and you were able to keep the car out of trouble for the most part for most of the night. Stay on. You were a lap down for a while there, but you got that timely lucky dog, and you made the most of it, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for Joe. I mean, he fought for it, and that was a hell of a fight. I mean, Partman pushed me really, really well. Tried to give me some advice, but in the end, I think I put a little too much fuel in the tank, and they were a bit faster than me.
Well, it is what it is on that aspect of it. But great performance. Remind us again who your car is sponsored by, because you still haven't had that paint job fixed yet.
Well, I only ran that paint scheme once. It was I don't know if you had your trading paints updated or not, but I was running the old Home Depot car in this one. But that one is the 3rd ID, 3rd Infantry Division. It's a Milsim unit running for Arma 3 in America's Army Proving Grounds. So they really great group. I'm actually the assistant administrator for them, and that's my other project along with these guys. So it's you're hot micing again, by the way, Tony. But it was they're a good group,
Yeah.
and I was really thankful that they sponsored a car for a race, and they do a lot to help me actually run this league and crossover.
Tony.
To answer your question, I have to hot mic because if I don't hot mic, nothing comes across on the stream.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But it was, that was an absolutely wild race. I mean, I actually led a couple laps. Tyler and I gotta think Tyler and Forrest. They pushed me, and
Even I led a couple of laps.
Yeah, I mean, after the whole untimely black flag, just a fluke thing, we all fought our way up, and really proud of my team there. Just Tyler, Forrest were super helpful. I know tensions got high tonight, but I think that finish was one for the ages, and I'm really proud of everybody involved, and I can't thank the drivers who run this league with us regularly enough. It's this started off as a passion project. I never imagined it would.
Well, for what it's worth, I mean, for the good first half of the race, we're all up here in the booth going, they are way too chippy, way too early.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna call anybody out in an interview or anything, but I thought there were some situations that came up that I got caught up in that I kind of wondered why it was going on. Why people were rushing me the way they were. But in the end, you can't complain about a top three. And, I mean, I'm really proud of Joe. He's got his win under the belt. Johnny, I know he's going to get one for the season's over, and that's my number one goal is just get one, finally get my first win in this league. And I thought I had a good chance at it tonight, and just a little bit of bad luck.
Well, I just want to point something out here, and I don't mean to, come off pretentious, but do you happen to remember the words I told to you at Talladega?
You told me Kansas was going to be my track, and that was I kept
top
that
three
in my mind as I crossed the line. Yeah, top three, and we're going to Vegas. Going to have the Dan Weldon Memorial. That's going to be really special. Hopefully, do it right this time around and actually run proper Dan Weldon paint schemes and do all that. Las Vegas was a track that was a non-points race last year, and I believe I got a top three there too. So my fortunes are hopefully changing. That's all I can do is hope and do my best and hope for the best.
Now, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a man that was about to step out of the car and retire and gets a podium.
I knew that was gonna come up.
Yeah.
I mean, I let my temper get the better of me. I think a lot of the drivers did tonight. I mean, Kansas was a much more trying track than I think any of us anticipated it to be. But that black flag, that was it was just heartbreaking. I finally led. Our pitch strategy worked out. I wouldn't have led every lap, but it was cool being up there. It really was. I like the view from up there. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the air's a little fresher up there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and I mean,
how's that old saying go? If you're not the lead horse, the view never changes.
That's 100% right there. And I had a great restart on that one, and I was hoping the way the cautions were coming. I'm glad we finally got some green flag stops. So I'm glad I didn't have to make a green flag stop more.
Well, I'm looking at the results now, and apparently we had 90 laps tonight out of 140. So
how many cautions was it?
12. But there's only 50 caution laps.
So 60 caution laps, so that's roughly
50.
50? So that's roughly, what, about 10 cautions?
12.
We were cautions. It was 12 cautions for 50 laps.
User was moved to your channel.
You were averaging you guys were averaging one caution every 10 laps for the first 100 laps of the race.
Yeah, that's definitely not something that we're proud of. But I think after Super Speedway week, it just took guys to remember you actually have to let up a little bit. And this track ran very similar to Michigan, which is a track that I'm pretty fond of. So, Joe, I'll tell you while you're in here, dude, I can't be more proud of you. You fought for that one. I know it meant a lot to you. I wish I could have given you a little bit more of a run and maybe snuck it out, but I'm proud of you, dude. You fought your ass off, and you deserve that one.
I'd also like to point out that Joe Morganti gets the bonus point for most laps led tonight.
I mean, he was quick. I mean, I thought when we got the reset, I made the guess. I didn't have my sim racing app stuff. I figured, all right, 7 gallons of fuel, 4 fresh tires. That should give me enough to, that should make me light enough. And I was counting on those fresh tires, but.
Well, when you took off, when Joe took off on the restart there, he launched. And I was saying to myself, oh, they're not going to catch him because the lap car is in the middle of it. Next thing you know, we see Alex coming into the picture. Like, oh, there he comes.
I can't, I don't want the interview to drag on, but I can't thank Partman enough. Especially the history between me and Partman, where I put him in the wall more than probably any driver in this league. Partman, if you're watching the stream, man, I can't thank you enough. That was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Well, let me just say this, Alex. Like I said in the race, it was shades of Michigan, where you and I were actually fighting for potentially a win. You almost got that win at Michigan. You came so close, and then the caution came out. I finished in the top 5, and then you almost got there when you came so close, and you're about to get it, man. You're coming real close.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So we'll see what Las Vegas holds, and I think it's Pocono after that, and
I thought it was Pocono next week.
No,
it's week 13 next week, so we're doing the Dan Weldon Memorial.
Oh, wait, gotcha. No, I'm sorry. Next week is week 13, so that's going to be the Road Course Classic, which...
Oh, Monza. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Fun.
Which is, for those who don't know, for our viewers, that is the DW11s and the DW12s on the same track, and just kind of a...
Stop talking. Just stop talking about what the cars are, Alex.
Sorry.
Alex, so you got anybody you want to thank?
I think I've thanked everybody. Thank the third ID for that one scheme. But mainly the big guys I want to thank is everybody watching here. Thank you guys for everything you've done up in the booth. I want to give a big thanks to my teammates, Tyler and Forrest. Forrest got some bad luck there, but I think he's still going to be happy with the top 10. Partman for pushing me, and just all the drivers. This is really special to me. Just running this league.
Yeah,
drives me crazy sometimes.
I'm gonna have to get on Forrest because I was rooting for him to win the race, so I'm gonna have to get on him.
Well, for what it's worth, Forrest got caught up in that melee that took out half the field.
I still gotta give him a hard time. No, I brought Joe back down. I kind of shipped them off real quick. I forgot. Joe, would you like to thank anybody? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's all right. I gotta thank Low Budget TV, AC Race Best, Driven Motorsports. I know it says Honda on the side of my car, but I'm using the Chevy Performance. And you guys up in the booth, everybody that watches the stream. My stream and then your guys' broadcast is just awesome. I can't thank you guys enough. And then the Napiers, John Napier coaching me through those last 10 laps, keeping me calm, and just kind of being the crew chief and the spotter, and then being the pseudo teammate throughout those last 10 laps, just keeping me calm, just helping me not screw up.
All right. I think that's going to do it. So for league owner Alex Green, Mark the Boss Vega, our race control, Sam Cooper Bennett, my partner in crime up here in the booth, congratulating Joe Morganti one more time on the first win in the league, and punching his ticket for the end of season chase. I'm Tony Trapasso. We will see you Sunday night at roughly 8:20-ish p.m. when we bring the DW12s back here to Kansas. Until then, everybody be safe.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. See you later, guys.